guys, this is Dale Rasco with Grip It and Rip It, and I'm here to just kind of go over an exercise I've been working on. I had in the past. I've seen a lot of questions lately on the pages about practice regimens and what people do. I've gotten several messages about it. So I thought I'd put something together and touch on a couple of also philosophical type things as well. So really around setting goals in your playing. I see a lot of people, well, how do you play better? Or how do you clean up your playing? Or how do you whatever, fill in the blank. And it really comes down to setting goals, just like in any other thing you do in life. And for me right now, the more specific the better for goals. And for me personally, my goal right now is to learn Metropolis off the first Dream Theater album in its entirety. So having something to be able to zero in on is just so ridiculously important. So that way you know when you've gotten there and when you can move on to the next thing. A second is understanding why you have a goal. So I'm very much a subscriber to the Simon Sinek start with why theories on just general how to live your life. Why we do what we do is everything. For me, it kind of comes down to a couple of things. I love music, and I have a passion for music. I love it unconditionally, all music. And I think we are, as a society, we're losing some of that. And I am tired of being away from it and want to be back in it. So I want to be the best I can be at it. Second comes back to a quote from I can't drawing a blank on the name. But the quote is, most people die with their music still inside of them. And to me, that's very literal. Now, that's only partial of the actual quote, but to me, that's almost, that is actually, it's very literal in the sense that I do the things I want to do. I set my goals around them because I've got a lot of ideas for songs. I hear stuff all the time in my head, and a lot of it I can't play. I'm tired of that. So getting better, I learn from others. I'm a student of Joel Bergwire and of Rusty Cooley, and I'm constantly learning. And a lot of, I think, players don't. Well, we always talk about, or at least have been on here, on Grip It and Rip It, about the Facebook and YouTube Guitar Heroes, and there's a good reason for all that, because it's a dying art. And when I say art, I'm not talking about the art of shredding and the art of guitar playing. I'm talking about the art of being a musician and writing songs. We're losing a lot of that. And without proper student-teacher relationship, you don't get the feedback from someone you actually know and trust and respect, to know what to work on. So people, a lot of times they shred as much as fast as they can, and there you go. That's all they do. So anyway, off that soapbox for a minute, what I'm going to go over now is just an exercise I got from Joel whenever I was having a problem with picking. I use a picking technique. Urson calls it the scalp pull technique. People always called it pencil pushing when I was growing up. But really, it's just I use my finger and thumb a lot. So what I was creating a problem for was synchronicity between my left and my right hand, because my right hand would go a lot faster and not always consistent, and my right hand would get lost. So in trying to work with that, Joel showed me this exercise. The other thing I was trying to solve was I had a certain slur in my playing, and I still do from time to time. Still trying to work it out because we're never really done. But that come from I would bar the note, and I'll go over that here in just a minute. So this is the exercise, and I'll go over how I apply it, and hopefully it'll be helpful. So The exercise, by the way, I am tuned to E flat. So if you're using the tuner and you're relatively new to all this, it's a D sharp on your tuner. But the exercise is simple. You start on your G string on the 4th fret, so that's B, and then C, D, C. And if you notice my picking hand, I'm using more of my wrist and not trying not to use the fingers. So, and then you go to C, D, E, D, and then to D, E, F, D, E, D, E, F, E, and then finally you go to E, F, G, F. Right, so the whole thing just is it's very simple. Okay, so I'm going to stop there for a second. What I used to do in this scenario would be I would never take that finger off, the first finger. So I'd be... You can hear that little slur when I'm... But by taking and releasing, it now puts my fingers more synchronous together, and you get more of a consistent and flowing kind of sound with that. And what that does is allows you to speed up your playing. I know it sounds stupid because you think that I don't have to move that finger, I can go faster, but it actually speeds up the more you get used to it. So the whole thing would sound like... Right, and I just noticed I was screwing up on my picking just now, but you get the idea. So what I normally do when I practice this is something I learned from Rusty Cooley, is I get my phone and I set a timer for 5 minutes, and I'll just practice that the very first position. Once the 5 minutes is up, I go to the next position. And then the next. 5 minutes, each one. And the next. Dang. And then when I've done all 4 of them, then I set it for another 5 minutes, and I do them. And before you know it, that's 25 minutes dedicated to that. Just to that exercise, and you'll notice the difference just quickly. I mean, very quickly. The next thing that I'm doing is now I'm starting to apply it. So I've gone east and west, basically. That's something I hear a lot from Joel. Putting it at now north and south. What that means is now I'm starting to take it, and I've just been working with it. So I'm starting with C Ionian. And just still got some work to do on that. And the well as the other. I mean, we're never done learning, right? But hopefully that'll help and give you some ideas on how to apply, practicing your scales and practicing just in general. I live and die by that 5-minute rule. It seems to help a lot because I don't get tied up in trying to do anything specific. I'm not trying to hit a certain beat on the metronome. I'm not trying to do anything other than just play that over and over and over and over and over for 5 minutes. And what you find is in a couple of sessions you'll really quadruple your clarity and your synchronicity between your hands, and that'll all lead to you playing it faster. So that same 5-minute rule can be applied to all scales, arpeggios, whatever. Works really great. But that exercise, man, it really helped me a lot. So hope this helps. We'll see you soon, and until then, grip it and rip it.